In this video, we're going to talk about a couple other possible sources of morality. First, we'll talk about the view that morality comes from meaning. So here's a little bit of background. Some sentences you might think of as analytic, and other sentences you might think of as synthetic. This is just a bit of vocabulary, but here's the basic idea. An analytic sentence is a sentence that's made true by its meaning. So some sentences, need both what they mean and the way the world is to make them true or false. So take the sentence, Barack Obama is president. Well, if the words Barack Obama refer to my dog, then this sentence would clearly come out false because my dog is not the president. But if the words Barack Obama refer to a particular person, then this sentence would come out true in, say, 2014. And if the words Barack Obama refer to, say, Joe Biden, then this sentence would come out true now. So the truth or falsity of the sentence depends partly on what the words mean, but it also depends partly on the way the world is. So even once you fix the meaning so that this words Barack Obama refer to the actual guy, Barack Obama is president, but it come out false. It will come out false if you're living today. It will come out true if you were living in, say, 2014. Sentences whose truth value, whether it's true or false, depends on both what it means and the way the world is, are called synthetic. This is just a technical term. It just means the truth value of the sentence is determined by both what it means and the way the world is. Some sentences, the idea goes, aren't true in virtue of both what they mean and the way the world is, but they're true only in virtue of what they mean. These are analytic sentences. Examples are all sisters are siblings. So, and 1 + 1 = 2, some people think of as analytic. It's controversial whether any given sentence is analytic. It's even controversial if there is such a category of sentences. But I'm just giving you the idea behind the person who thinks that morality comes from meaning. They would say there are analytic sentences, and sentences like all sisters are siblings is one of them. So here's the basic idea of the person who thinks that morality comes from meaning. Suppose that any sentence expressing a moral claim is analytic. I don't know why when I opened this file, a lot of the letters got numbers substituted for them, but this should be a C. So suppose that any sentence expressing a moral claim is analytic. Then what makes the sentence true, the moral sentence true, the statement expressing a moral claim, is what it means. So killing others for fun is wrong is relevantly like all sisters are siblings. It's made true by its meaning. So morality comes from meaning. We won't spend more time on this. I just want you to see this as an option. Obviously, there's an argument for this view and an argument against this view. The argument for this view goes like this. Anybody, when confronted with a moral sentence, without investigating the world, just by reflecting carefully on what it means, can figure out whether it's true or false. So if you tell me killing others for fun is wrong, I don't need to go out and investigate the world to figure out whether that's true or false. I don't need to check the way the world is. I just need to reflect on what it means. And when I reflect on what it means, I can see that it's true that killing others for fun is wrong. And the idea goes, since I can figure out that it's true by reflecting on its meaning, it must be that its meaning makes it true. Now, there's a lot of places you can object to that argument, but that's the basic idea. Against this view, there's all sorts of objections. One is that morality can't possibly come from meaning. Why would we care about it if it came from meaning? It must come from somewhere else. Another is that there are no analytic sentences. Another is that if morality came from meaning, then it would be easy to determine the truth value of any given moral claim. But in fact, it's really hard to determine the truth values of some moral claims. So morality must not come from meaning. You won't be responsible for those objections and replies. I just want you to have the basic idea that morality comes from meaning down and the corresponding background distinction between analytic and synthetic sentences. Okay. The next view says that morality comes from human nature. So what is this view? Well, a little bit of background. Various people, most famously Noam Chomsky, argues that natural languages like English, Japanese, French, Portuguese, and so on, share a common grammar. So despite superficial differences in their grammar, at a deeper level, we can use a kind of mathematical analysis to show that the principles that the various languages use are all the same, that there's some kind of deep common grammar that every language shares. and that the superficial differences you get between one language and another are just that, they're superficial. Why then do English and French have different grammatical rules? Well, the universal grammar consists of general principles that have vague parameters that can take various values. And different languages are just different values along those parameters. Now, experience sets those parameters, so the kind of language you're exposed to will determine which, grammatical rules you end up adopting. But those are just superficial variations of a kind of common underlying core. And the universal grammar, the idea goes, is universal because it's part of human nature. It's part of our sort of biological endowment, our genetic program. Well, the idea here in relation to morality is that there's a universal morality that's akin to universal grammar. You might ask, why then do cultures in the US and Canada accept different moral rules? Well, the universal morality consists of general principles that have vague parameters. And since moralities all follow the principles, all moralities share the same deep moral rules. Since experience sets those parameters and people have different experiences, they'll adopt different superficial moral rules, but at a deeper level, they accept the same general moral principles. So what might be these deep moral principles? They might be things like give people what they deserve, or pursue happiness for all, or follow the golden rule. Something really general and vague that you'd expect people from various cultures to all agree on would be the deep principles. And then there will be applications of those principles that result from sort of the culture in which you're embedded. And we might disagree about those, but those aren't really the deep moral principles that create morality. The deep moral principles that create morality are principles we all would agree upon. That's the idea. Okay. Another view says that there are basic moral entities. Now, we're not going to pursue this view, but the basic idea is that there are genuine moral properties that are features of the world. They don't come from us. They don't come from what our language means. They don't come from culture. They don't come from God. They're irreducible. They don't come from anywhere else. They're just a basic feature of the universe. Another possibility is that the question where do morals come from is a bogus question because there is no such thing as morality. It's all it's all nonsense. The most extreme version of this view is called emotivism. And what emotivism says is that when you state a moral claim, like you say killing others for fun is wrong, really you're just expressing an emotion. You're not making a claim about the world. So if I say, hey, you shouldn't kill someone, that's like me saying, boo, killing makes me killing, boo. Notice that boo killing can't be true or false. It's just a sort of expression of how I feel. Not what I think, but how I feel. And the emotivist says that moral claims are actually like that. They have the grammatical form of ordinary statements, so they masquerade as claims that can be true or false, but they can't be. They're just expressions of a sentiment. Okay, we'll stop there and continue next time by looking at normative ethical theories.